Sorry, didn't see you guys there. Hey, what's up, guys and girls? This is Fragmented once again. Looking over some games here I picked up. These games are, as you can see, 3DS game, 360 game, and a Wii U game. And you know, in my opinion, all good games. I try to pride myself in not having horrible judgment in gaming. But yeah. But there's one thing all those games have in common right now, and that is, well, today's focus of my video, and that focus is responsibility. Now, I know you guys are pretty busy. It's Sunday, and I'm doing this kind of as a last minute effort to get a video out. It's a topic that's been bugging me for a while, and I've actually done videos about this topic in the past. They've been pretty short, so you might, if you feel like it, you can go back and look at it, but you won't need to after this video. I should get my point across, I think. Anyways, the reason why I want to talk about responsibility is responsibility as a journalist in the gaming community, and that goes across all gaming communities, whether it be YouTube or the real gaming community. The real gaming community being the one that determines the games we play, determines the ratings and reviews and the awards of the games we play. That level of responsibility. Okay, the games that I showed you before, you can look them up right now on sites like Metacritic and other websites, and you'll notice that they have a lot. They have a large scale of variation within their reviews. The biggest culprit in that is probably going to be this little guy right here, Castlevania. Now, Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate, that's the full title, the 3DS game, is a game that is part of a new, I want to call it, mini series of Castlevania storylines. They recently, a couple years back, relaunched the Castlevania brand under the Lords of Shadow banner, and there are going to be 3 games total in the series. The first game, Lords of Shadow, the second game, Mirror of Fate, which is more or less a bridge between the first and second, between Lords of Shadow Part 1 and Lords of Shadow Part 2, which comes out fall 2013. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is it's a small series within the universe, similar to, say, Metroid Prime, and it's a different take on what you would normally expect a Castlevania game to be. The problem here is that, and this is what I'm starting to see, and it's not specifically attached to this game, the problem that I'm talking about, and this is my opinion, so take it like that. In the gaming industry, the average consumer, the average guy or girl who is into gaming, unlike a lot of people in the YouTube gaming community, aren't as vocal about their opinions. They don't really have a strong bias one way or another towards the products that they want to purchase. It's based on what initially catches their opinion, or their interest rather, and what they hear or what they see in terms of feedback about said game. And usually determines, and that coupled with advertising, usually determines if a game gets purchased by an average consumer. So, with that said, the average consumer right now is, let's see, how should I put this delicately? They don't think for themselves. What they do is they try to find a website, a publication, a blogger, a person that they have an attachment to, a person that they can relate to, and they form a pseudo trust with that group or person or website, you name it, and they go to that person thinking, hey, I trust you, and I think that you will point me in the right direction. Your opinion matters to me, and I want to know what you think. So recently, I went to a video on YouTube. It was actually a video published from a website. A pretty oh, how should I call them? They're a blogging. They're a blog. I'm sorry. with a loss of memory. I'm not sure how I would classify the website, but the name of the website is Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb has a website called GiantBomb.com, and they're composed of members formerly of GameSpot, who left under under curious circumstances, mostly in regards to a payoff within the company. Apparently someone was paid to change the review score because they were a main advertiser at the time, and yada yada. The guys got mad, they left, formed their own group, aka Giant Bomb. But anyways, these guys who, you know, I have a respect for most gaming journalists, because initially, I mean, in a sense that's what I hope to be one day once I finish college. But I think that as a gaming journalist, people expect things from you. They expect you to be genuine, a level. You can be mouthy, you can be outrageous, outlandish, you can be the, I don't know, you can be however you want. I mean, the personality does not matter. What matters is people come to you because they trust in your opinions. When you mislead them, when you forget who you are, when you forget the responsibility as a journalist to point people in the right direction, especially within the gaming industry, that's where I take a problem with this. In a sense, I got into an argument because I've voiced my opinion within the comment section. In the video, the guys were playing Castlevania Lords of Shadow on a monitor, and on a monitor the images are stretched. They're stretched and they're blurred out, and you don't get the level of detail that you see on the screen. Now, the person that was playing the game on the screen was just being very, how should I say it, candid in their snide remarks. But if you've been a follower of these guys, they've always been kind of snide. It's just their personality, and that's fine. But the problem was the other guys, who was a group review, or group hands-on, I should say, of the game. But in a sense, it wasn't a true review, because they don't do a lot of reviews. They do a lot of hands-on, which I'm a big fan of. But they give their opinions about the games that they're giving their hands-on about in their initial impressions. And their impressions were, the guys who were watching this video on the screen were really going in about how bad the graphics looked. And honestly, even me, clicking on the 720 option, looking at the graphics, they weren't the best looking game. It wasn't the best looking game, but that was not indicative of what I was looking at on my screen. I literally had the game in front of me, watching the screen, watching my screen. On my screen, I saw sharp, detailed graphics. On their screen, I saw a blurry mess of smudgy, non-defined graphics, and a already shabby frame rate getting worse on the screen. Don't ask me how that's possible, but it was. So the thing is, while they're going in making, you know, all these remarks about how the game looks like crap, how it's not a true Castlevania, half of the guys had not even played the original Lords of Shadow game. The majority of them were comparing it to the previous franchise, which is the previous Castlevania banner. And all those games were hybrids of Metroid and Super Castlevania that came before it. And of course the ultimate Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. They were all being compared to those, and that's fair at its core, but it's a relaunch. You can't compare a different take on the genre to a previous incarnation of it. You can be reminded of it, but it's a different take on it. It's a reimagining of the property, and so to pull from that is asinine. You can do that, but you're misleading yourself and your crowd. And so these guys proceeded to go in on this video, complaining about how bad it looked, how bad it played, how it wasn't a true Castlevania game. And in doing so, the comment sections were filled with people who, you know, like any comment section on a YouTube video, agreeing with them, saying that the game was horrible, how Konami had ruined the brand, and it was sad. It was genuinely a sad display just to see this level of misleading going on. But anyways, I digress. I think my ranting is I'm 9 minutes into this video. I want to say this to you guys. When you go to a website, keep in mind these guys are doing a job. If you had to review at your job, how would your reviews come out? How would they turn out? How would you rate people who you work with? How would you rate the job experience? How would you? You probably come across a little bit jaded, right? Just a tad bit jaded, a tad bit annoyed, and it would come through in your video, in your review, and how you you know, how you spoke, how you acted, and that's how the majority of most gaming publicists are. They're very jaded. They don't like their job. They don't like the work they do. I mean, they do at its core because they're getting paid to play games, but at its core, it's a job to them, and they've been doing it for years, and they have all these expectations about stuff that no longer represent you as a person, but represent somebody who is jaded and cynical and needs a break, a long extended break, if you ask me. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. Sorry about the long breaks. I will try to do my best to continue to do videos, and my videos, if you like this video, subscribe. If you don't subscribe. If you liked it a little bit, thumbs it up. If you didn't like it at all, thumbs it up. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. Thanks for checking it out. See you guys later, and remember, demand more from your publications, gaming or otherwise. They have a responsibility to you, to be honest, and to point you in the right direction. Goodbye.